Hello everyone. My name is Elise. Welcome to my channel. I hope you're all doing so good today. We are starting off a little weekend reading vlog and I'm very excited to do another weekend vlog. I think I've only done one other one this year and I'm trying to do 2 this year. So we are meeting goals. And yeah, I'm coming to you live from my pajamas on a Friday morning. How glamorous. Not really live, but you know, jokes. So we have 4 books that I'm going to be reading in this vlog. Like the title would suggest, this is going to be a cozy graphic novel weekend reading vlog. These are the 4 books that I will be reading for this video. So I will quickly go over the synopses for you, and then we'll have a little chat about what the weekend is going to look like. So first up, we have Garlic and the Vampire. This is by Bree Paulsen and it's published by Quilltree Books. This is a series, so I have the second one as well. And this is about a little garlic bulb who is tasked with investigating a vampire who has just moved to this community. And the community is very scared of the vampire. And they're like, hey, you're garlic. Vampires are afraid of garlic. You go investigate. So she kind of goes out on an adventure. And I think it's really cozy and cute. Here's a little bit of the art style. And then of course, this is the second one, Garlic and the Witch. I won't read the blurb of this one because it does talk about the first book, but here's a little bit of the art in this one. So these ones, I think are my most anticipated ones for this vlog. I've heard amazing things and I'm very excited to get to them. So next up we have the Seance Tea Party. This is by Reimena and it's published by RH Graphic. Here's a little bit of the art style for this one. I believe this is following our main character named Laura, and she is kind of in the process of growing up, and a lot of the people in her neighborhood don't want to like play imaginatively anymore, but she still definitely does. So I think she decides that like she's gonna go out and play regardless, and I think has a magical tea party, maybe with a ghost. I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure this will be very cute and I'm excited to get to it. So that is Seance Tea Party. And then lastly, we have Lights by Brenna Thummler. This is published by Oni Press. And this is the finale to the Sheets graphic novel series. So this is the 3rd book. I won't talk about this book specifically, but I will say I picked this up because this series has maybe my favorite art ever in it. I love the art style and I love the color scheme in this. It's all like purples, pinks, and blues. So gorgeous. And this series follows our main character, this one right here, whose mother in the first one has recently passed away, and her parents owned a laundry business. She starts working there more and more after her mom passes away, and she discovers a little ghost named Wendell out one night in the laundromat in a sheet. So I'm excited to get to this one. This is a friend that gets introduced in the 2nd book and is now in the 3rd one as well. So excited to wrap up this series and know that this will be very good. Today is actually going to be pretty jam-packed. I questioned whether or not to start the vlog today, but we're gonna do it anyway and see what happens. But since today is busier, I think I'm gonna start with Garlic and the Vampire because it's the shortest and I'm most excited for it. So I think we're gonna start here today. Because these are short, I might just check in with you once I've fully finished it and then let you know my thoughts. But in addition to that, I am a multi-reader. So when I've done weekend vlogs in the past, I've tried to read very linearly so it makes sense in the vlog, but that's not actually how I read. I read multiple things at once. So while I will be reading all of these one at a time, I also have some other books that I'm currently reading. So I am going to give you updates about the other books. If in the future you would prefer I don't do that and just follow like the theme of the vlog, let me know. But I'll try it for now and see if it's too confusing. So the other books that I'm currently reading are The Twyford Code. This is by Janice Hallett. And this is a mystery novel, like she writes. She wrote The Appeal, which was very well received, and it's mixed media. So this is written in audio files, and this one is about a author who wrote a series of books that years later a teacher thinks has a secret code in them. The teacher is named Miss Isles, and Miss Isles starts investigating this secret code and then disappears. So the students that she had at the time, there's a group of 6 of them, are trying to investigate what happened to Miss Isles, and that leads them in the path of trying to see if there really is a clue in Edith Twyford, the author's books. That's kind of a convoluted premise. Hopefully you followed that, but that's the premise of this. And yeah, I'm already like 60 pages in, 67 pages in. So I'll be listening to this on audio as I'm running some errands. So you'll get an update on that. And then I'm about to start Panics by Barbara Molinard. I always have a short story collection going at one time, and this is a short story collection. I recently just finished the latest Sherlock Holmes one, so this is the next one I'm picking up for spooky season. And this is all about different panics or fears. So each short story collection features a different fear, one of them being a boa constrictor, like you see on the front. So those are all the books that I will be talking about in this video. Hopefully it's not too confusing and you can follow along. Like I said, today has a lot that I need to do in it as far as errands go. So who knows what I'm going to show you, but I will show you something and we'll check back in when I read a book for sure. So see you then. Okay everyone, are we ready for a check-in? It is the next day. Welcome to Saturday. I know I didn't check in with you anymore yesterday, so apologies, but you got to see a little bit of B-roll of some of what I got up to. I didn't show all the infinite errands that I ran because that would not be as fun to watch. But we did have a lovely dinner. You got to see a very brief portion of it. Had a very, very busy day, which was to be expected. So hopefully I'll get to update you a little bit more today, but we shall see. Like, vlogging is hard, y'all. I do not get how people do this, but we're out here trying. So let's do a little bit of a reading update because I did get a decent amount of reading done yesterday. As you saw, I read the entirety of Garlic and the Vampire, and this was so cute. This is as cute as everyone says that it is. It's very heartwarming. Like you saw in the beginning images, it like has a little dedication to other people who have anxiety. It says, for all the anxious bulbs. And this really is a story about a character, little garlic bulb right here, who has anxiety and again is tasked with confronting a vampire. It's very sweet and there's a lot of kind of like moralistic lessons, but I think it was like in the right way. The art is so beautiful. I absolutely loved it. I mean, just like look at the first page, so gorgeous. And yeah, I'm really excited to do the next one, Garlic and the Witch, and I'm gonna definitely get to this one today. So highly recommend. So cute. Absolutely loved it. So that is Garlic and the Vampire. Now I also got a decent amount done in the Twyford code. So before, I can't remember if I told you, but I was at page 67 as of starting the vlog yesterday. And right now I'm on page 153. So I read almost 100 pages, like 90 pages of this yesterday, just because I was so busy with Aaron. So it was a lot of listening time for me, and some crazy stuff happened in this book. I will say, like around page 100 or something like that, there is a huge twist that comes into play. You will not see coming. You can't see it coming, but it is crazy. And I think I audibly gasped wherever I was listening to it, and was definitely shook. So this is starting to really heat up plot-wise, which I'm excited about, because I do think some of the beginning was a little long. There's still so much we don't know, so a lot to be unraveled. There's multiple mysteries, you might say, outside of just the Twyford code mystery that they're trying to solve, which is the code in Edith Twyford's book that they believe to exist and believe to be part of why their teacher disappeared all those years ago. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this continues to go. I'm probably not going to be able to talk about the plot anymore with you, but we'll see how this all wraps up in the end. But yeah, made some good progress on the Twyford code. And then I also read the first two stories in Panics. Now, this one is intriguing. There's a preface by Marguerite Duras, and sort of this, I don't want to say this author's claim to fame, but like Barbara Molinard was friends with Marguerite Duras and is an acclaimed author herself, and she was constantly encouraging Barbara to publish her work. But Barbara would famously write like all day long and then destroy everything she wrote at the end of the day. And these are the only things that she's ever published, this collection of stories, and that's after much cajoling from Marguerite and her husband. So yeah, that's an interesting framework. So Barbara herself is sort of tortured in this way, and the preface explores that a lot more. So that's important to know for the setup of the stories, I think. So the first story is about this woman who is also tortured and is trying to almost invent reasons to live each day. And you get to see her on one particular day, and she is at an airport asking about a flight that's going to be coming in. You can tell that she's anxious about it, like wanting to make sure the weather's going to be good, that everything's safe, all that type of stuff. So then she kind of is doing other things throughout her day, and then comes back to the airport to meet people. And the way that that plays out, sort of like the twist at the end, I think is really intriguing. And it was so sad, and again, like tortured, that's the only way to put it. And I think it really matches the framework of what you know about the author as well. Now, the second story was batshit fucking crazy, okay? Like, I don't know if I fully understand what's going on in that story. It is extremely gruesome, very gruesome, maybe one of the most gruesome things I've ever read. And like, I would say it's trying to be sadistic. That is the tone of that story, but it's bizarre because it's like sadistic and lighthearted at the same time, which is super strange and confusing. But yeah, I'm not sure I understand that story. It was wild though. So we're gonna see how the rest of this goes. That is not what I was expecting. But yeah, it's very, very strange. So I'll let you know how the next stories go as I read them. But those are the 3 little updates for what I've been reading since the last time I saw you. Like I said, today I will definitely be getting to Garlic and the Witch. We'll see if I get to one of the others. But we have another busy day, unfortunately. I mean, like, fun for me, but hard to film and catch everything and do updates with you guys. So we'll see. I'm definitely going to need to walk my dog, so you'll probably see a little bit of that. I also really want to go through all of my summer clothes and pack them away now that it's going to be fall and winter. So planning to do that. That will give me some good audiobook listening time again. And then I know we're going to the Sounders game tonight. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to update you before all of that happens or what, but we'll see. You'll see along with me. And I hope you're having a good day. And let's go walk the dog. Biggie. right, it is the next morning. I'm trying to do this very quickly while my husband is taking our dog out to go to the restroom this morning. Again, glamorous. And yeah, I want to give you a quick reading update. I didn't update you again yesterday, so here we go. But I did finish Garlic and the Witch, which is the second book in this series, and it was also lovely. I liked this one better than the first one even. I thought the storyline was more like compact, and that it was like also more heartwarming in a way, which is crazy because the first one is very heartwarming. So this one had an interesting plot to set up for what I think is going to be a third book as well, and I like the place that it left off. Art, again, stunning, gorgeous. This is following Garlic on an adventure going to a magical market, and then she's also dealing with a change that is happening. I'll leave it vague, and you could see that alluded to in the little dedication in the beginning, which it seems like she does in every book, but the one for this one was to all the sprouts facing big changes and uncertainty, and the last one was people who are anxious. So yeah, very, very adorable, very excited for the next one, if there's gonna be one, and love this one even more than the first. So highly recommend this one. And then the other reading update is I read another 100 pages in the Twyford Code by Janice Hallett. So now I'm currently on page 251, and I think I have about 100 pages to go. So yes, 100 pages to go. And yeah, that we're like, I said this last time, but like fully in action. Lots of stuff is happening. It seems like they're getting closer and closer to finding answers. Some of them are wanting answers about Mrs. Isles, the missing teacher. Some of them are wanting answers about the Twyford Code, and or both. So yeah, we're in the thick of all the plot happening, and it has really ratcheted up. I think I said this last time, but like, I just feel like there's more and more mysteries building. Like, we keep getting these side plots where I'm like, okay, I know there's gonna be a reveal over here somehow, but I'm not sure when we're gonna get it. And it feels like a lot of those are starting to stack up. So I'm imagining that the end is just gonna be like reveal after reveal after reveal, but we shall see. I can't tell if I like this one better than the appeal so far. It's interesting because my one gripe about the appeal is that the action doesn't start soon enough. So in the appeal, you know that there's gonna be a dead body because it says it in the blurb, but that doesn't happen until like halfway through the book. And I was like, okay, come on, like we need something to happen here. And this one, it's been like major plot throughout the majority of it. I do also agree that like the beginning was a teensy bit slow in this one, but there's been way more action. So I'm like, this one feels very different from the appeal. But now I'm like, is this too much plot? I don't know. We're gonna have to see how it wraps up, but definitely enjoying this so far, and really do like the audio experience because it is audio files. I think it makes the experience less monotonous, because if you were reading it, before every audio file, like let's just take example this page, it will say like the date and the time, and then it'll tell you about the quality. And I think having to read that over and over and over again would start to get slightly annoying, but having to listen to it, it sounds very natural because the audio production is like making it sound like an audio file would, if that makes sense. So I think that that would be the way to go if you're wanting to read this. The narrator is doing an excellent job so far. So yeah, excited to see where this will end up. And if I finish this today, I will let you know my final review. This is gonna be the last day of the vlog, so hopefully I can get the other 2 books done. I was expecting to have more done by now, but yeah, we'll see where the day takes us. Like you've seen already, we started this morning by watching some Bake Off, and then you also got to see this lovely mug that our friends gave us, which has our dog on it. It is so cute. We love it so much, and it's really big. I don't know if you can like tell the scale, but like the mug is very large, and it makes it perfect for making tea lattes, which I love doing on the weekend when I have a little bit more time. And as you saw this morning, I had a lovely London fog, and it was amazing. So yeah, it was a great morning so far. Hopefully I will get some more reading done today, and I will check in with you once I have. Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna do the last little update. It has gone into the next morning, so it's Monday morning now. We're gonna wrap the vlog up. So I'll just quickly catch you up on what I read yesterday. I ended up cramming a lot of reading into yesterday because I was like, I need to get these books done. I left the two longest books for the last day, which is the day that I was with my partner, so I was probably gonna have the least amount of time to read. But the other 2 days were so busy that it just ended up that way. But I did it. I did finish the other two books. So let's first quickly check in about Seance Tea Party. This was very cute. I will say the art I really enjoyed. I thought the art style was super, super fun. And this art has a lot of like extra bits around it. So let me show you. Like there's the art itself, but then like see around the edges how it's like framed with little doodle like artworks. That's on a lot of the pages where it has like extra little doodles. Here, I'll show you some more. There's like doodles down here. So I can't imagine how long it took to illustrate all of these pages, but loved the art. The story didn't totally hit the feel-good levels that I got with the Garlic series. So I didn't enjoy it as much, but this is definitely about changing as you're growing up and the scariness of that. Our main character here is wanting to still be imaginative and play, and all of the people around her and her friends seem to be wanting to get into more traditionally like adult or like teenage things, like significant others and fashion and celebrity culture, those types of things. And she's just not there yet. So she meets a lovely ghost friend and they get to go on imaginative adventures together. There's also a side storyline with the ghost is trying to kind of figure out more about herself. And that's a really interesting storyline as well. But yeah, I think this is really sweet if you're looking for a nice kind of like spooky but really cozy and heartwarming tale about what it's like to kind of go into your teenage years. This is a great one. So that is Seance Tea Party. And then lastly, I picked up Lights, which again is the finale in this Sheets series. Now this one is the longest, I think, in the series. It's 350 pages. And I did feel the length a bit. The story of this has never been like my absolute favorite. I really just love the art. I mean, like one more time, let's just take a look at this art, like so gorgeous. This one I did like because it really heavily features Wendell's story, and Wendell is my favorite character. Wendell is the ghost. And the second installation into this series didn't focus on him very much. It was more about this new friend, but this one really gets into Wendell's backstory. It's interesting reading these in the same day because there is a similar plot through line between the two ghost characters in this. Very samey, so maybe don't read them in the same day like I did, but loved getting to follow Wendell. He's such a sweet character. He is also wanting to know more about his death and figure out, try and reclaim some of the memories that he had as a child when he passed away, because he doesn't really have any. So that's a plot line through this. There's also some tension between these two friends, and deal with some of the tensions that arise when you're going into teenagehood. I can confirm now this is middle grades. They're in middle school at the time. They're about to transition into high school. So that's the age range. But yeah, again, really sweet, really heartwarming, and definitely enjoyed it. Other update is I also finished the Twyford Code. So this one had a crazy ending, like an absolutely crazy ending. I could not believe how it flipped a bunch of things around. It really did happen the way I thought it was going to happen, where it was like boom, 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 lots of kind of plot twists and reveals in quick succession at the end. So they set that up well and everything made sense. Nothing felt like too unbelievable, which can really bother me in a mystery or a thriller like this. So definitely enjoyed this. I still think this is too long. I think the page count is too long for what it is. They could have cut some of the first half out, but overall love the mixed media element. It was so fun listening to this as an audiobook with the audio files, and would highly encourage you to pick it up that way. And also had a kind of like heartwarming portion as well at the end about family, found family and biological family and loyalty and all those types of things. So this was really fun and interesting. Tons of plot twists. And if you liked The Appeal, you'll definitely like this as well. I still like The Appeal slightly better, but this was still very much enjoyable and would recommend. So that's the Twyford code. So now let's just quickly go over and rank everything that I read in this video. I will say I didn't read any more of Panic, so I've still only read the first 2 in this. So we read 2 stories of Panics. We read Garlic and the Vampire. We read Garlic and the Witch. We read we read Lights. We read Seance Tea Party. And we read the Twyford Code. So that is a lot of reading for one weekend. Granted, you know, these are very quick reads because they're in a graphic novel format. So if I were to rank these, I think, let's see, decisions. Okay, I think this is how I would rank them. Does that feel right? I think this feels right. Okay, so of the ones I finished, I think this is my ranking. Garlic and the Witch was definitely my favorite. I really enjoyed this. It was a 5-star read for me. Then we have Garlic and the Vampire, then the Twyford Code. These are pretty closely aligned for me in terms of enjoyment. Then Lights, then Seance Tea Party at the bottom, but these also were pretty closely aligned and follow a lot of the same themes going on as well. And then of course I didn't finish Panics. This is definitely weird so far, so to be determined on where that ends up. You can check out my wrap up at the end of the month to see what I think of it in total. But yeah, I had a ton of fun reading these books with you. I hope you enjoyed as well. If you've read any of these, please let me know what you've thought of them. And if you have any other spooky, cozy graphic novel recommendations, please put them down below. I would love to read more. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.